What's up, guys? Nick from Nick's Reptile World here, and today we're going to be making a bioactive enclosure. This one specifically is for a Cuban false chameleon that I got from a most recent Reptile Expo in Manchester, New Hampshire. So right here is the background of the enclosure. You can see that I'm applying silicone around the edges. What you're going to want to do is do it around the edges and create sort of an X inside the box. It kind of cut out so I can really show you. But here you see me putting it into the enclosure. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you really press down to get that silicone to completely coat the back. That'll keep any insects from getting in and out of the back portion if there's any holes in it. So now we're going to be getting into the drainage layer. What I'm using today is just a couple of pebbles from an aquarium that I had in the past. I don't have any clay marbles or lava rock, which would work perfectly as a drainage layer because they also do a good job at kind of filtrating that water. And here you can see me. So what I did is I cut out a metal mesh, and that's going to be essentially the blanket for our drainage layer. And on top of that, I'm putting some activated carbon. You can use horticultural carbon, or you could also use aquatic carbon. I mean, it's the same thing in reality. I didn't have a whole lot, so you see me kind of trying to push it around. Not doing a great job. The charcoal will actually help with filtrating out the water. Putting some substrate down on top of the charcoal and the rest of my drainage layer. So what I use this mix is cocoa fiber and a little bit of peat moss. So what you want to do is you want to evenly distribute it. If you want to go the extra mile, I would suggest you put a extra amount of substrate in the back because it kind of creates a three-dimensional depth, if you will. Make sure that you also pat down the substrate. It will kind of fluff itself up, and once you start actually watering it, it's gonna kind of sink down. So if you pat it down, it gives you a pretty good idea how it's gonna be once it is fully hydrated with some water. So right here, I am tossing in a culture of springtails. What springtails are, they're essentially a really tiny bug, if you will. They're actually detrivores. So they eat decaying plant matter, poop, mold, anything that could possibly grow in here will essentially be eaten by the springtails. Next up, we have to install our different decor items, if you will. So what I chose for this one is I chose a half round of cork bark. I also used a bunch of different vines. I kind of try to figure out which one fit. It's kind of awkward because I don't have any plants in there. Sadly, I didn't have any for this video aside from a couple pieces of different types of moss. Um, but I chose thicker branch. I figure it'd be best for the false chameleon once it gets bigger. For pieces of moss, what I had was reindeer moss, which is the white poofy looking one. And the other moss that I chose to go with was just, your average carpeting moss. Anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you commented, and subscribed. And let me know if there's anything that you guys want to see next. Anyways, I'm Nick from Nick's Reptile World, and I'll catch you guys later.